My mum and Caitlin were like, I booked you in for hypnotherapy. I'm like, what? Like, you're going to hypnotherapy? I'm like, what for? And she's like, your hair.
Okay, so if Lila came up to us when she's 12 and asked for a nose piercing, what would you say? Bearing in mind you have a nose piercing.
I'm so scared for when the kids get older because there's so much to live up to. There's 12 years old people on TikTok that look older than us. I was up to Caitlin, can you just get the breakfast biscuits by the side of the bed? No, Leah, you can't do that because you're going to get crumbs everywhere.
I said yes, of course, but could you just eat it off the side of the bed?
So I said to Caitlin, I'm going to eat it. I'm an adult and I will not get crumbs.
Well, she did.
A few hours after that, Leah, there's another crumb.
Hey guys, and welcome to our brand new podcast, The 3am Club, with me, Caitlin.
And me, Leah.
We'll be talking everything about our relationship and parenting and everything that comes along with that.
Pooey nappies.
Couple fights.
Screaming toddlers.
And sleepless nights. So you're going to hear all about our parenting adventures, the good, the bad, and the mad, as we become parents of 2.
And we'll also bring some amazing guests along for the ride.
We want to hear all about your parenting tips and hacks, funny stories, couple fails, and questions on our segment, The Midnight Mail. So welcome to the 3am Club.
This episode is brought to you guys by Garnier, who are on a mission to get the people of Britain nationwide to be wearing SPF every single day.
With the launch of their new Vitamin C Daily UV Fluid.
Caitlin and I have seen this fluid glow on TikTok. It's literally gone viral, and ever since we've been using it and loving it.
It has this kind of tinted but natural finish. You just pop it on like moisturizer and you're instantly glowy and protected from UV damage. It is SPF 50.
So for us, that is definitely amazing. I don't think any product now will top this. I'm definitely sold.
Or are you?
Why are you saying that in a creepy voice?
Well, without giving too much away, we're going to be putting our beloved fluid glow to the test.
Okay, I don't think it necessarily needs to be put to the test because nothing will top it for me, but go on then.
In the meantime, make healthy skin a habit by adding SPF to your daily skincare routine.
Vitamin C Daily UV available in Boots nationwide.
Back to the episode. Hey guys, and welcome to the 3am Club podcast with me, Caitlin.
And me, Leah. So at the start of every episode, we go through our regular realities of the week. And this week's was super, super cute because Oakley had his first ever haircut.
It was honestly adorable.
So before we actually decided to get his haircut, we were debating for how many months?
Oh, forever. Everyone's been saying you should get his haircut because obviously it was getting quite long, but also to get him used to it. And his hair looked like it was going to be curly. So we were like, no, let's wait. It's going to be so cute. It'll be all curly. But in the end, we just thought, you know what, we have to get it cut because it was getting in his eyes. And yeah, it was just too hot.
But the biggest blessing in disguise is YouTube because we stuck on Miss Rachel. He sat on your lap and he was absolutely fine. Like he didn't cry. He absolutely loved it. And I honestly think afterwards he felt better because he had so much hair at the back of his head and it's getting hot. So,
but I was actually quite shocked how still he was. I think he thought it was a massage or something.
But on the subject of hair, Caitlin is deciding whether or not she should grow her fringe out. I think she shouldn't because this is how I know you, and like I love your fringe. I think
well, when you first met me, I didn't have a fringe.
When I first met Caitlin, you had like the biggest side fringe, like
one of those like 2015
it was
side
huge.
Fringes.
Yeah, and it went across.
Oh, but I don't know. I feel like since having Lila, I'm just having a bit of an identity crisis. I don't know what to wear. I don't know how to do my hair. So I'm like, do I just grow out my fringe?
But you know how your fringe is at the moment? It's short. It's my favourite.
Really?
Short, wispy. I love it.
Oh, I just don't know. I don't know what to do. But I remember a few years ago, I was going to grow out my fringe and I said it to my mum and I think I actually clipped it back one day and she was like, oh no, I really love you with the fringe. It's like how I know you. So part of me is like, do I keep it for my mum or do I just I don't know. I want to change though sometimes.
I say keep it, but it's completely up to you. If you grow it out, you can always get it cut back in.
True, but the effort of growing it out, I'll have to go through such an awkward stage.
You will.
Ugh.
You just cut your fringe even shorter this
I know,
morning.
so now it's going to be like taking forever to grow out, but I don't know what to do. Let me know in the comments, guys. Do I keep my fringe or do I get rid of it? Because I do not know.
So what's actually really nice, although we don't feel it, but a lot of family and friends, everyone says to us, we look so well for being 2 months of 2.
Yeah.
Like, we don't feel it, but people are saying, like, you look fresh.
I mean, I don't look in the mirror and think I look fresh, but I guess like on videos and stuff, we would look fresh because most of the time we put makeup on, like for the podcast, we put makeup on and stuff. So I guess that's why we could look fake fresh.
Yeah. But to be honest, on TikTok, you get this notification. So like, I would get a notification today of a video we did today, but last year.
Yeah.
And it actually makes me feel so rubbish. I hate it because I feel like I looked so much better then. But then when I think back, on that day, I remember I was like, oh, I hate the way I look. Like, I look awful. But then I look back and I'm like, no, I look so much better then than I do now.
You look beautiful. But I literally know the same feeling because I was looking at videos from just before I was pregnant and I literally looked like a different person.
It's so weird.
It's
how
crazy.
Being a mum literally ages you so much.
We've aged. I'm shocked. Like,
we have aged so much.
It's only been 1 year and we look so different.
But don't you think like every year fashion changes so much? So there's this trend on TikTok and I'm actually going to do it today. And it's like your eyebrows back in 2015 to like your eyebrows now. And my eyebrows were horrific.
Are you talking about when you were at school?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I had this obsession, like it actually became an impulsion to pluck my eyebrows. Like every day after school, I would just go home, I'll get the tweezers and I'd love the feeling and I'll just pluck all my eyebrows.
Love the feeling?
Yeah. So anyway, I had absolutely no eyebrow and I got my mum to buy me an eyebrow pencil. But obviously back in the day, they were just the pencils and you'd have to sharpen it. And if it ran out, my mum would have to run to the shops and get me a new one.
Oh, that is so funny. But
now,
sad at the same time.
It's very sad, yeah. But now like eyebrows, it's like all bushy and that's the fashion. Like everything changes and it's so hard to keep up.
Yeah, that's true. I actually got my eyebrows tinted the other day and like waxed for the first time in years. And I came out of the salon and Leah just burst out laughing and I was like,
I felt so bad.
Why are you laughing at me? And then you said, oh no, you looked funny, the facial expression you did when you came out, but I knew it was because of my eyebrows.
Because if I walked out of a salon and you laughed at me, I would cry, so I'm so sorry. But
the whole day she was laughing at me. Every time she looked at me, she laughed at me and I felt so self-conscious.
No, I'm so sorry. I laughed because, first of all, I laughed because anyway, I was walking Oakley and I had Lila with me. Like you came out as I was walking and you just looked around and you didn't know where I was, so I just thought that was funny.
No, I knew where you were. I saw you.
No, you didn't. You actually
You were right outside the door. I saw you.
No, you weren't. And then I laughed because then I just felt awkward because then you said I was laughing at you. So then I had a nervous laugh. But I've apologized. I said, I swear to God, I was not laughing at your eyebrows. They were beautiful.
Yeah, you did.
Because I would feel so self-conscious if I came out of the beauticians and you were just laughing at me. I think I would cry.
I was like, clearly my eyebrows look ridiculous if Leah's laughing the moment I walk out. But it wasn't just then, it was all day.
Yeah, but it was all day for you because I'm so bad with my appearance that before this podcast, I went upstairs and my mum and Caitlin were like, I booked you in for hypnotherapy. I'm like, what? Like, you're going to hypnotherapy? I'm like, what for? And she's like, your hair.
Well, me and your mum are genuinely really worried about you. I know I'm laughing, but we are really worried about you because Leah's, I don't know if you want me to say.
Explain the situation. So I've got body dysmorphic disorder. So I focus on like a part of my body. And like for years and years when I was at school, I've always focused on my hair. So I would be late for school if my hair wasn't straight and I would like cry. I'd get up at like 4 a.m. Still to this day, I have to wash my hair every day. Yeah. Sometimes I challenge myself, but it does really affect me.
It affects you way more than you've probably ever spoken about. Like you've bought wigs in the past. You've like been so bad that you wouldn't even let anyone see you. You would just hide under your covers. Anyway, since having Oakley and Lila, you were better until...
So I was fine. Like I was like too busy with the kids. I was like to Caitlin, like my mental health with my hair, like so much
It got
better.
so much better.
And then there was a few comments on this video. Like, I didn't get ready that day. I didn't do my hair. I didn't do anything. I was just like, right, let's just film a TikTok. So I filmed a TikTok, and there were comments saying, Leah, your hair looks so flat. Leah, you need to do your hair.
No, there was one comment that said, Leah, your hair looks flat. And one comment that said, Leah looks rough. Like, there was loads of lovely comments, but obviously, because that's
That
your
really
insecurity, that
affected
really,
me.
really got to you.
Yeah.
And ever since, you've been struggling a lot. And
Ever since I got my hair cut, and then when I got my hair cut, I was struggling with my haircut, like just so much. But like, people don't realize that comments affect people. Someone might just think that's a throwaway comment. It doesn't matter. But to me, this week's been quite awful with my mental health.
It's been really sad. So this morning, your mum and I were in Oakley's room getting him ready for bed, and I actually emailed a hypnotherapist without telling
Without
you.
my consent, which I'm not going to go to.
Well, if it would help, because
We'll
I know
see.
somebody that went to hypnotherapist about bees, and they
I
literally
know
aren't
someone
scared
that
of
went
bees
to
anymore.
hypnotherapy for being sick, and they helped you with spiders, meaning you.
No, mine was actually for, oh my gosh, I think it was originally I was
OCD?
meant to go for OCD, and then they started talking to me about spiders, and I'm actually scared of spiders. But it did help. Although last night I thought there was a spider in our bed, but I think it was one of your crumbs. And I saw something in the bed,
guys.
and I grabbed it and threw it across the room because I was so scared it was a spider.
Hold on. So what happened last night? I was so hungry in the night. I was up to Caitlin, can you just get the breakfast biscuits by the side of the bed? I'm really hungry. No, Leah, you can't do that because you're going to get crumbs everywhere.
I said, yes, of course, but could you just eat it off the side of the bed so we don't have crumbs in the bed? I didn't say you can eat it.
Yeah, true. So I said to Caitlin, I'm so tired. I'm not getting out of the bed. I'm going to eat it. I'm an adult and I will not get crumbs.
Well, she did.
Anyway, Caitlin said for the last few hours after that, Leah, there's another crumb.
There were so many crumbs in the bed. We were like sleeping on sand with the crumbs.
But talking about appearance, I've had questionable hairstyles throughout
Oh my
the
gosh.
years.
You've had so many hairstyles.
Oh my God. I remember, is her name Frankie from the Saturdays?
Yeah, I was going to say that, but I couldn't remember her name, so I just didn't say.
So she cut her hair short years ago. It was like a bob, and it was up to her ear there on one side, and then the other side was there.
A bob, yeah.
And I got it cut, like her hairstyle, and I just looked ridiculous.
You
and
didn't.
Then going back to I've had such a thing with my appearance my whole life. So going back to getting obsessed with plucking my eyebrows, I got obsessed with pulling my hair out.
Yeah.
So I pulled out my hair, and I had a gap of no hair. And then I had to have a really big side fringe, and I'd buy loads of clips to cover it. And if it was windy,
oh my gosh, I remember seeing the photo.
Yeah.
You had
I think
10
clips over my
Funnily
side
enough,
fringe.
though, I actually do struggle with my hair as well, especially when I was younger with my fringe.
Yeah.
I used to walk to school with an umbrella when it wasn't raining to protect the wind from my fringe. And people thought I was mad.
Didn't people look at the sky and be like, it's sunny, why have you got an umbrella?
Yeah, I remember walking into school once, and there was a teacher standing outside looking at the sky like, what the heck? Why is this girl walking?
So embarrassing.
But my
isn't
cousin used to walk with me, and he would be so embarrassed because I would walk with it covering my face. So I couldn't even see where I was going. And I'd have to look on the floor and follow his footsteps.
Caitlin.
And he would be so embarrassed with me.
Literally, even when I knew you, so you would put a whole bottle or maybe half a bottle of hairspray every single day on your fringe.
If my fringe would move, I couldn't cope. I would have to just not cope for the day.
Even
I'd
if
go
we
home.
were out, even if we were in London and we were just busy, we would have to go to Boots and get you hairspray.
There was quite a few times we were meeting up with Connor, and I would text him on the way, would you get hairspray on the way?
And I wasn't even allowed to touch your fringe.
No.
No one was allowed to touch your fringe.
No, you used to say to me, when we have kids, what if they touch your fringe? Are you just going to go crazy? How are you going to cope? And I was like, no, it'll be fine. And to be fair, Oakley always pulls my fringe, so.
To be honest, we're completely embarrassing ourselves. People are probably listening or watching this thinking, what on earth that these girls?
I'm sure some people, everyone has their own
Yeah.
insecurities, and I'm sure that there is people out there that experience the same things with us. Maybe not about hair, maybe about something
Yeah,
else,
it's very
but
true.
yeah, everyone has insecurities. So hopefully they don't think we're too
Hopefully
crazy.
us being open about ours will make people feel less alone.
Yeah, hopefully.
So getting ready in the morning now is the biggest struggle with
It's
two
so
kids.
hard. We have to bring our makeup and stuff downstairs with Oakley, and then Oakley will throw our makeup all over the floor. We've had
Yeah.
lots of
Highlighters
broken stuff. Yeah. And he just thinks it's great to play with it, but we have to try and get ready downstairs. And then Lila will be in the Moses basket because if we put her on the floor on a play mat, Oakley will be throwing things and we're so scared that it's going to hit her. So, and then she'll want feeding and it is a bit of a nightmare.
Getting ready now is, I barely wear makeup anymore. Like for the podcast or things, I will put makeup on, but getting ready for me is just like sorting out my hair. Yeah. And then that is it.
Literally same. Most of the time we do that and then we'll just put like a little filter on TikTok if we're filming that day.
I remember your mum saying before we had kids, girls, you took 2-3 hours to get ready. How you can't do that with kids?
Yeah. And we don't. It's impossible, isn't it? Like you do not have the time.
But we were talking about this the other day. So I'm the sort of girl, although I'm not wearing makeup all the time, but I love to experiment with different makeups, different moisturizers, face masks a lot. Like I'm a girl that will experiment. I'll put anything on my face. Whereas Caitlin,
I won't put anything new on my face because I just know it's going to give me spots. So I just don't do it. Whereas you do it and then you complain if you get a spot. You're like, I shouldn't have done that. And then the next day you'll put like 10 other products on your face.
I just think it's so fun to experiment. You have like the same like 5-10 products that you would just use. You would not try anything new. Whereas I'm like, yeah, I'll put it on my face.
You're normally the one that will buy a makeup product and then I will try it. It's more the like skincare and stuff that I don't really experiment with. But oh my gosh, have you seen those girls on TikTok that are literally 10 years old putting 10 different face products on their face?
Who were we talking about this the other day? I'm so scared for when the kids get older because there's so much to live up to. And like when I was 12 years old, I looked like a 12 years old.
Yeah, same. I looked terrible.
There's 12 years old people on TikTok that look older than us.
There was a girl on TikTok and we was watching her TikToks and then I saw in one of the comments they said that she was 12 and I was like, no way.
You Googled it, didn't you?
I Googled it. I thought she was at least 16. I'm actually scared about it.
I know.
Especially, I think for girls as well. Like I feel like girls are very competitive with what they look like and what they wear. Because I remember when I was at school, this friend of mine, like ex-friend of mine, spread a rumor that my mum dressed me. And I thought that was so weird. She obviously thought
How old were you?
12 to 14, so quite young still. And I remember like some of the boys that she was friends with.
Why would that be bad if your mum decides what you wear?
Well, I'm guessing because they literally said your mum dresses you. So I didn't know if they meant physically dresses me or chooses what I wear. I'm guessing chooses what I wear. But I was like, because my mum didn't. I would go to the shops and we would choose what I'd wear. They were just doing it to be mean.
Yeah.
Because obviously they didn't like what I wore and it made me feel really
Or
insecure.
maybe they did like what you wore and they were jealous.
I don't know. Because actually, funnily enough, this girl's mum, whenever I'd wear an outfit, she'd always be like, oh, that's nice, and check where it was from and then get it for her daughter when she was younger. So I don't know if it like kind of went up with that. I don't know. Is it the same
weird. Girl's mum?
Yeah.
Oh, well then, yeah, that's really odd.
Yeah, but I just worry that like, I don't know, like kids will pick on, like Lila will feel like she has to wear certain things and not just wear what she wants to wear. And, you know, it's just.
The truth is probably, you know, going to school, probably, yeah. But I feel sorry for the kids, but I also feel sorry for the parents because those things cost so much money and it's so hard to keep up.
And then if they don't have it, then you're worried that they're going to be bullied at school. And
like my biggest worry, and I say this to Kanan all the time, my biggest worry is that we won't be able to afford the things the kids want. Not saying that I'm going to spoil the kids, but if their friends have something, I will want to give them it as well. If they want it, then it would break my heart saying no.
Yeah.
But it just breaks my heart that obviously in life, it's not always possible to give your kids the best thing, the best trainers that are out, the best new thing, the best PS5.
Yeah, see, and I think that is so bad because it's important for kids to not earn things, but like understand the value of things and not think they just ask and they get it. And I feel like that's so important to bring up your child. But then at the same time, it's like if you don't get it for them, are they going to stand out? And it's just such a big dilemma.
We've had the conversation that obviously our kids are very privileged that they live in a lovely house and, you know, they have food on the table and that we can go to B&M and we buy them presents. We see something and we're like, oh, Oakley will love this. Like, they're very, very, very privileged because my mum's worked in a school and she's told me such sad stories, like really sad stories, and it breaks my heart. But we have spoke before, and we will take the kids to a homeless shelter. We will take them to a hospital before Christmas and, you know, give out presents to less fortunate. So I feel like as long as you're doing both, as long as your kids understand that they are privileged, but they understand that they're privileged, and sadly, not everyone has that same privilege.
But do you think, because I think you're going to be the type of parent that Oakley or Lila will say, can I have this? And you'll be like, yeah, sure, and get it. Whereas I feel like I'm going to be a bit more like, not give it to them straight away.
Like yesterday, we were in B&M.
And Oakley literally touched something and Leah's like, oh my God, he wants it. Let's get him for it. It's going to be great.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Leah, he doesn't need something every time we go out because he's just going to expect that.
See, I'm like a big kid, really. Like, if I think the kids want something, I am like, right, we need to get it. And 9 times out of 10, we get it.
And he doesn't even play with it.
He doesn't even play with it when he gets home. But we are different in that sort of respect. See, I'm like my dad with that. My dad, whatever we wanted, my dad would be like, yeah, I'll get you. And my mum would be like, no, we need to save money.
Oh, really?
Like my mum and dad growing up, all I remember is my dad would spend money and my mum would be like, no, no, no.
I don't know. I never really asked for anything. You know, like most kids will write a list for Christmas of everything they want. I didn't do that, and I don't know why. Like I just felt like bad asking for things.
Do you know what? We've had that conversation. We both didn't, and we think Connor, our best friend, is weird because even
he
to
writes
this
lists
day,
for his birthday, and he's 23,
he
22.
I'm like to Connor, like I could never ask.
She's like, I'm going to ask my mum for this, and we're like, what? Because we've never done that.
No, we haven't.
And I think if I did mention something, my parents would get it for me for like Christmas or my birthday because they'd be probably shocked I actually mentioned something.
Yeah.
They weren't like they would get me everything I ever said.
No.
They would definitely be like, no, you've got to. And they would be like, oh, if you do some of your chores, then we'll get this. Or
whereas Connor literally would go up to his parents, be like, you know, I'm your favourite son. Well, I've got a list from literally here to here. Can I have it for Christmas?
Yeah, and they'll get it. They'll actually get it as well.
They will.
We have to ask his mum what's on the list for Christmas that she hasn't
and
already
then we'll
got in.
buy one thing for him off that list.
Okay, so if Lila came up to us when she's 12 and she asked, because I actually saw a YouTuber's mum say yes to this for their child and the dad was saying no. If she came up to us and asked for a nose piercing at 12, what would you say? Bearing in mind you have a nose piercing and I've had a nose piercing.
Well, I would probably say no purely because the school probably won't allow it.
Say the school would allow it. Just like, what do you think that's too young?
No.
Really?
Because a nose piercing's a nose piercing. It can always come out.
I would probably say yes because it's her body. She can do what she wants. But I would think, and to be fair, it can close up. But I have a scar on my nose from it. So, like, there is an everlasting effect.
I mean, I have a hole
but you
in
have
my
a hole
nose.
in your nose
I
as
don't
well.
care.
I know, but, like, what if she's older and she does care? And then she's like, mums, you should have said no.
Yeah, but I mean, come on. Well, like I would say yes to that. But if I thought, I don't know, Lila, if she had any like body dysmorphia or any issues, I would try to get to the bottom of it.
Yeah.
But we were discussing the other day, and obviously we're not one to judge, never ever judge. And we were saying, would we ever get Lila's ears pierced at this age? Because the argument is, which a lot of people say, you know, they're young, they will cry, but then they won't have to worry when they're older. That's it. But I would never, ever. I
couldn't. Not at this age. I feel like it's borderline cruel. Like, it's
borderline. Well, do you know why I wouldn't?
Hmm.
When you get your ears pierced or any piercing, it's really hard to sleep on that side, or it's hard to move, or it's hard to touch. That's no different.
Also, mine always get infected.
Yeah.
So, like, what if a little baby's ears get infected and then they're in pain and it's just for, like, beauty? It's just for what they look like. That's what it is. It's not a necessity. It is just to make them look cute, isn't it? And
I don't think it's cute. I don't like
it on a baby. No.
I don't. I love a baby to be in baby grows and to look like a baby. I don't even like dressing her up. You know, like sometimes we put her in like a nice little dress, like a bluebell dress. I don't like it that much. No. I love her in a little sleep suit or a little baby grow and her to look like a baby.
Yeah, I agree. I like them to look like babies, but yeah, my mum actually didn't get my ears pierced when I was a baby. She waited until I was old enough to say, yeah, I want it. And I feel like we'll do that for Lila 100%. Or Oakley if he wants to get his done.
But I feel like as long as you try your best with your kids and do what you think is right, then that's the main thing.
Yeah, and we're just trying our best. We're just bringing them up how we feel like is the best way. And and we're not perfect, but we're doing our best.
We're learning every single day.
The next bit of the podcast is going to be a little bit different.
And it's brought to you by Garnier, who are on a mission to get the people of Britain wearing SPF every single day.
With the launch of their new Vitamin C Daily UV Fluid. We're always seeing lots of different skincare hacks and trends online, so I've picked up 2 of the weirdest ones for us to try.
Right, so I'm guessing I'm going to do this because you're breastfeeding Lila, but Caitlin has kindly cut me up some potatoes to sellotape to my face because apparently this is going to give me that radiant glow.
I'm so excited to see how this works.
Of course you are, Caitlin. Oh my God, it's freezing.
Lovely, you look beautiful.
I must say, this isn't very luxurious, like putting the Garnier on. And it's already coming off. Out of 10, 0. Absolutely awful. This is icy cold water.
You got to dip your face in. You ready?
Oh, God, right. It's awful. But it's safe to say that is definitely not going into my skincare routine.
Same here. I will definitely be sticking to my Vitamin C Daily UV Fluid Glow by Garnier. There is no fuss, no mess. You literally just apply it like moisturizer or serum before putting on your makeup.
Can you imagine if I was in the bathroom with potatoes on my face and Oakley just walks in?
You would be so confused.
He'll be like, what is my mum doing? Save yourself the brain freeze and smelling of potatoes by making healthy skin a habit and adding SPF into your daily care routine every single day.
Vitamin C Daily UV available in Boots stores nationwide. Okay, so now it is time for Midnight Mail, where our lovely listeners write in and send us questions, advice, tips, all that kind of stuff.
So remember, guys, if you want to get involved too and send us questions or anything, you can send us a DM on Instagram at the 3am Club Podcast.
Oh, okay, so the first one is a lovely message here. Just want to say thank you to Caitlin for being so body positive. I had my second daughter in December and my body changed a lot the second time round. I'm really trying to be confident knowing my body grew my 2 daughters, but it's hard sometimes. You're really inspiring.
That is so
sweet.
lovely. That is exactly why you're doing what you're doing, to inspire other people.
I do struggle with my body as well because it's such a huge change and like looking in the mirror and just seeing all the stretch marks and like different, just be looking completely different to I've ever looked. It is hard, and I'm so glad that those videos have helped you. Like that means a lot, and makes me feel like I should keep making them, and like makes me feel more comfortable in myself as well.
So you're talking earlier about the negatives of social media. There's so many positives. Like you can really do good on social media.
Definitely.
Like just posting a video that can help thousands of people.
Yeah, that's true. And like just reading the comments really does help me as well. And I just love reading our comments from all of our listeners and stuff. It's so lovely. There's so many lovely people out there.
Agreed.
Okay, so our question is, I'm due any day now. Any advice with creating boundaries with family while you're bonding with the new baby?
First of all, biggest congratulations.
Yeah. So with Oakley, we set, I thought, a lot more boundaries than we did with Lila. So with Oakley, we were very like, we need to have our space. We need to have our little newborn bubble. We'll have family over, but it will be kind of more limited and everything. And I feel like just saying it to people, just say to them like how you feel and stuff. But with Lila, we were kind of more like, we need a village to help because we're going to have 2 under 2.
But I think if you're setting boundaries, I feel like that is really important and stick to them because you and baby are the most important. And 100%. I feel like it's very easy to forget the mum when a baby comes, and you know, your mental health is very, very vulnerable. Like your hormones are all over the place. So if you feel like, no, I can't deal with this, I can't deal with everyone over, I just want to bond with my baby.
Yeah, if you
do that.
If you need to say no to someone coming over, definitely say no. And I feel like maybe also have a chat with people that if they do come over, don't just come to hold the baby, come to help you. Like, I feel like people forget that when they come over, holding the baby isn't helpful. That is literally the worst thing you can do, because as like new mums and stuff, we feel like, I don't know, like you don't really want to let the baby go. Obviously, like it's great for the family to hold the baby, but the main thing is maybe they can make you a cup of tea, do some cleaning, do some laundry for you, like like if people come over, I feel like maybe you could say like to do that, because that's the most helpful I've found.
A little tip for us is your aunt came over for 2 weeks and she did so much housework.
She was amazing.
But then, you know, in the evenings when we were having baths and when we were doing our self-care, that was a perfect time for Lila to be with her aunt.
Yeah.
So it's like just finding the perfect time that aligns with you to then also let other family near and see the baby.
Yeah, definitely.
But it's on your terms. You're the parent.
And even if you find it hard, maybe your partner could say it, especially if it's to their family, because it could be quite hard to say it to someone else's like family. Maybe ask them to speak to them for you, because they can. I feel like that'd be easier.
So really, communication is key.
100%.
Yeah.
How do you make sure to care for your own mental health whilst parenting?
So what I've loved at the moment is going for walks. So even though I'm with Oakley and I'm walking him along, just getting that fresh air and being outside the house and just going out really does help me. So I'm loving walks.
Yeah. So Leah usually has a bath with Oakley. Then I like kind of do his nighttime routine.
Yeah.
And then once he's in bed, you're with Lila and I like have a bath. And I feel like that is my time. I just put on some YouTube or some Netflix. I just watch a bit of that, have a bath. And then when everybody is asleep in bed, although I should go to sleep, I do go on my phone and just scroll and like chill for a bit. And I feel like that time is like my time alone. And that's where I kind of like reset for the next day, because it's busy, isn't it? Being parents, there's no time in the day to just chill.
Like Caitlin keeps reminding me, which is very true, that I'm not just a mum. I'm also Leah, and I'm working on that because I just feel like I'm a mum.
Yeah.
You did say it to me this week, which took me by surprise, because I was like, yeah, actually, you're right.
You are a mum, but you are also Leah, and you've got to do things for you.
Yeah.
And like we're also a couple, and we've got to do things for us. And obviously the kids will always come first.
No, I agree with
but
you.
we
I
do have to remember that we
Yeah.
are not just mums. Like we are our own people as well.
But that's my fault, because I'm very like all or nothing. So all my focus all the time is just the kids, and then I neglect you a little bit, which I do understand. I neglect other things. Like I neglect so much.
Me and your mum will be having a conversation. You'll be like, no, guys, you've got to just play with Oakley and look at Oakley and talk to Oakley. We're like, no, we've also got to, you know, be ourselves and talk and stuff like that.
I feel like I need to know a balance, because all I've wanted to be is a mum. And I feel like, although, you know, some things are sad, being a mum and being with the kids is the happiest I'll ever be. Like just being with them.
Definitely. We need to find a good balance.
Yeah.
Okay, so we don't have any more time for any more questions, but you can message us over on Instagram at the 3am Club podcast.
I feel like that episode was really nice.
It
That little
was.
conversation we had.
It was interesting to talk about all of the things, like the different hairstyles, the different looks we've had over our lives, but it was quite nice to go into like how we feel about all the changes and everything since having kids.
It'll be nice for our kids to watch this episode when they grow up, because obviously we're like, I hope, you know, they don't feel so much pressure. So I hope they'll watch this in many years to come and be like, no, mum, very comfortable. I feel fine.
Oh, I hope so. I really hope that we bring them up so that they do feel comfortable in their own skin.
But yeah, although there's loads of like challenges and society is saying you've got to be this, that, the other, the main thing is you just feel loved and you just feel confident, and you know, we can just try our best with the kids, and I'm sure other parents are watching this and that's just their aim. And you know, life just goes on and things change, and we're just on the ride for it, aren't we?
Yeah, definitely.
So guys, thanks so much for joining us at the 3am Club.
Make sure to subscribe to the show on YouTube, as well as follow and listen on Spotify or your podcast app of choice.
And feel free to leave a like, comment and a really nice review.
And remember, you're part of the 3am Club too, so get in touch with your stories, parenting tips, hacks and questions.
You can come and find us on Instagram and TikTok at the 3am Club Podcast.
Bye guys!